Welcome back, everybody. Paintball Live, PBLive.tv. We're on live with the owner of Scenario Arms, scenarioarms.com, Daniel Hallak, or D. Hallak or Dalek. Daniel, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ryan. I'm really honored to be here. And hey, everybody. I was just,
Woo! You got standing ovations in the chat board. That's great.
yeah, this is pretty humbling seeing all these guys. One of the guys, Doc, over in the sandbox, logging in at like 5 a.m. just to come by and say hi and give me support. And none of this would be possible without the guys from the boards. Um, they pushed me on this path, and everything's happening because of them.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. While we were on the break, Daniel was just saying, dude, it's crazy to go from where I was to being here and doing all this stuff. So talk about where you came from, starting off with Scenario Arms. I mean, you are not a multi national conglomeration, an urban think tank with billions of dollars backing you. You are a dude who just likes messing with stuff and does good work.
Well, pretty much about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I finally decided to get into paintball. I never had any desire to ever play because all I'd ever seen of it was speedball on ESPN2. And no offense to speedball, it's a great aspect of the sport, but it's not my cup of tea. And then I saw a picture of the Tippmann X-7 on Google and fell in love with it. And I'd never heard of milsim or scenario paintball. And that's actually my wife in that picture, right by where it says Scenario Arms Update,
Nice.
where it says Loops. Yep, that's the missus. Um, and I stumbled upon the X7 boards, and after a few months, I decided to just start trying to make my own things to make the marker look a little better. And the guys gave me a bunch of feedback and support, and some of the guys from OCMI, specifically Muddy, OCMI Viper, and a couple of the other guys really gave me just unconditional support and continued to encourage me in threads and in person when I meet them, trying to tell me how to try to apply for business loans, what they think I should try to come out with. And finally I started listening to the guys and left my job. I was working in construction, just a union carpenter apprentice, and got the support of my wife, her brother-in-law, who gave me a loan because he works at a bank. And one thing, yeah, that really did help the whole loan process. And one thing led to another, and I was able to get out my G3 magazines.
Nice.
7.62 millimeter replica magazines for the Tippmann X7. The first aftermarket magazine for the X7. Nice thing is it's solid aluminum. Unlike the regular Magdala, you can hit this thing with a wrench, and
Oh my God.
it's not denting or anything like that. But I've had some stumbling blocks, as most of the guys on the forums know. My one thing with the SolidWorks guy, and some design mishaps where people mismeasured my parts I was trying to get manufactured. But luckily things have been starting to pick up lately, and I've been offering the service of making custom kits for the past month, and I'm really surprised with the response I've gotten with it. I was really surprised, in all honesty, but I've been getting a lot of orders, and it's really helped me start getting my feedback underneath me. And everything's because of the guys on the X7 boards, and I wouldn't really be anywhere without them.
Now, you're talking about some of the stuff, some of the problems you came up with. I mean, you're making aftermarket products or parts to go on to more than anything else, the Tippmann X7. Now, when you're putting the stocks and stuff, we were talking about this a little bit. You're like, now, has to be a couple millimeters difference makes this thing freaking wobbly and unusable, or this part becomes too thin and then it breaks off and it snaps and it looks cheap. And so, it's kind of tough for you to go up to somebody and go, dude, seriously, I ordered a batch of 100 of these and none of them are usable. And they go, oh, well, you're like, no, you don't understand. I'm not like the Bill Gates of paintball. I don't have this huge backing. Dude, all of my money is going into this, and this is going to pay for all the other stuff I'm going to do. And so the fact that you just sort of, you take it in stride, you're like, oh, that sucks, but let's keep going. And then you just pull back and everybody's like, dude, we are here for you, because they see all the, first of all, most importantly, all the cool shit that you're making. And secondly, that you're upfront with everybody when something goes wrong. You go laying it out here. This is what went wrong and this is what sucks, but we're going to try and make it up to you, which is great. And everybody really appreciates that. It is a breath of fresh air, because a lot of times here in paintball especially, we tend to sort of get overlooked a lot. And people don't really seem to give us the time of day that we really deserve. And so, starting off, we're showing off some of the magazines over at Road Warriors, is where I first heard about you. And
I was a nervous wreck that weekend. I just see this guy, PB Live, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's PB Live. Like, this huge online celebrity or something. He came right up and just sat a tripod right in front of me. And I had my wife at the game giving moral support, because it was the first time I ever had a booth. And, I had eagles in my stomach. And then, yeah, there she is at the dumpster. Nice background. And so you're like, all right, talk. And it was just, okay. And that was a lot of fun. It was intimidating, but it was a lot of fun, kind of like tonight.
And just like tonight as well, you are washed out in that video. I don't know what it is. Shaka from Faithful and OCMI tends to blow up my equipment. I think you and I are just a little too white for this. Thank God that they're not making us dance.
Yeah, I'm just too white for the show, I guess. I was hoping to have this 5 o'clock shadow so it would cancel it out, but apparently it didn't.
No, that's fine. Okay, they want us to show some of the other kits that you have going. Now, you started off with the mag, which the selling point for the magazine being that it's actual metal. Now, you've shown some of the old X-7 one, which is foldable plastic and it breaks and snaps, whatever. Now, it's a heavy marker to begin with, and the fact that dudes are like, dude, I want this made out of metal, is pretty badass.
Yeah, a lot of the Milsim guys specifically, they don't mind a few extra ounces because they like the added realism of it. Some people, they like to have a nice balance between looks and performance. A lot of other people, they like to have it more lightweight and more towards performance. Me, I'm not the best player, so I just want to look cool. And right there you got the SIG 552. I took that the other day. Fun little fact about that, a lot of the guys from the forum know, is because I live in an apartment, I don't have a back or front yard I could film this stuff in. Otherwise the SWAT teams will get called if I go out of the apartment with a SIG 552 right by the little kids' playground. So I went on Sunday, I went to church and I asked the pastor, I'm like, can I take a video of a toy gun back behind the church? And he looked at me a little funny and then said, okay. And so that's actually an elementary school in the background. I have, looks like assault rifles in an elementary school.
That is the way to do it, buddy. Hell yeah. And the fact that you went up and talked to your church pastor and he's like, I don't see any problem with that. I'm like, that's even better. That's badass right there.
Well, in the area that we live in, assault rifles are a common sight. But the first time that I went to take pictures there, I didn't let him know. And so I just went behind the church, was taking pictures, and the Spanish service was going, so these little kids just come running around the corner and like, Adios mío! And, they see like AK-47s and stuff on the ground. It was pretty funny. I got out of there quick.